Oh, hey folks, welcome to Playing in Traffic. Look at all this. Sunday, May 3rd. Sunday, May 3rd, and let's get this in the background. Let's get this one. I think they're still calling this the Ghost Ship. Folks, Sunday, May 3rd, I'm in Wildwood, New Jersey. Just getting caught up with a bunch of stuff that I kind of like covered, what was it, February? Whenever I was here last. I'm going to follow up on some of that stuff that I looked at that last trip that I was here. And, yeah, you get, look at, oh my God, we got the sounds of Wildwood, New Jersey, the sounds of the boardwalk. I know this pier is Mariners Landing. I don't know what they call it now. I could check that out. Just for starters, we're going to do this. Let's see, where are we at? There we are. So look at this. Hello, son. Look at that, man. Why am I showing you that? Well, I used to spend nights up there when I used to work security. That's kind of comical when you think about it. Yeah, I was more of a cleaner. This was 1988, 87, 86. One of them years. Used to work overnight here. I'm going to show you what I used to do. But one of the things, well, here we go. Here's me bouncing around. My brain's bouncing all over the place. Check this out. So for fun, I used to go up these steps, the other side. This side right here. Used to go up those steps and sit up there, usually around 3 a.m., just because I was bored. And when I wasn't doing that little adventure, I would have the golf cart. I used to have a golf cart. I used to go back and forth on the pier overnight. Make sure people weren't sneaking on the pier, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But right over here, there used to be a Curly's Fries or something, and the ground was like real greasy. And on a good day, you could really get pretty good. You could skid out and do donuts over there. I mean, when you're 19 years old and you got a golf cart, you don't have a driver's license. Yeah, that's a fun time right there. We're gonna go head back towards the water park area. And I'm going to see if anything here, oh yeah, anything rings a bell. Well, they built some stuff too here, so it's kind of cool. I'm able to ride back here on the one wheel. I don't know how long that's going to last, but you know, I can get a good video done by doing this. But anyway, yeah, I think the piers were open on Easter. I'm not positive about that, but they definitely opened yesterday. And I said, you know what, let me get over here and get some video. Get an episode of Playing in Traffic by being in Wildwood for a little bit. I mean, you can't, hey, it is what it is. Let me show you this. Yeah, so this water park is very, very, very similar to when, and I'm really talking mid-'80s. I think that's mid-'80s decor right there. I don't really think they've done a lot. I'd go so far as the slides were almost the same. They really are. So, I mean, the sea serpent's the same. But anyway, these two slides right here, the little short slides. So back when I was working here, I forget where the locker room was, but I would have to go in there with a fire hose and clean that out overnight. Hit that with a fire hose and clean it out. I forget. I feel like it was over here somewhere. That was one of the jobs that I would have, and then and that was about it. Oh God! See what happens when I start reflecting on old times. I had an old Zorlac skateboard with plus head art underneath. Yeah, that got stolen back here. That definitely got stolen back here. I remember that overnight. No idea. That's how I used to get to the boardwalk. Used to get to my job here at the boardwalk. Look at this. Look at this effect right here. Look at that. Look at that. Great background. That's how I would get up here for my job. I didn't have a driver. I didn't drive. I certainly didn't have a car. I didn't have a driver's license. So what I would do is just get on the skateboard. I used to live way back on Glenwood Avenue. And just skate up. And yeah, that got stolen. That's nice. Do remember that. Okay, back to live action. So what I would do is I would fire hose. TMI moment, the woman's bathroom was worse than the men's room, the men's area. Okay, that being said, what was happening? I'm going to show you give you a little detail. Hopefully this wind is not a factor in hearing me. What was happening is the following. So I would call myself kind of goody two-shoes-ish. I would trespass and stuff, but that was about the extent of it. I would have 1 or 2 drinks periodically. So while I was working that job, we would kind of man the front of the pier. Like I said, I'd be up top of the hook, right, all the way up there. I'd be up top to sea serpent. I'll do that mischievous stuff. I'll do that. But insofar as inviting people back here to party nude, yeah, I wasn't a part of that. And but boy, let me tell you right now, one time I'm standing right around here, just got out of the golf cart, like wandering around. I'm like, oh wow! And this pool was on. I don't know, on. It's always full. The lights were on. These slides were on. And there was some nudity going on and some partying. It was kind of cool. I didn't say nothing. What ended up happening was I think Beach Patrol reported it, that there was all kinds of things going on back here, along with, and I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. There used to be go-karts. Oh, look at this. That might be the old track. Oh, it is. So yeah, so there goes the old track. Because the go-karts used to be here, and some of them would get taken out too. Wow, this episode is really top of the line right now. They would get taken out, and apparently there was a switch on the back of the cart. I don't know that to confirm that. I didn't ride in them. I don't even know why it matters. I'm 59 years old. No, I'm not getting arrested now for something that I could even lie about that happened back in 1987 or something. But there may or may not be a switch back there to make them faster. But yeah, that was a thing. What is there any little hint of it over here in the tracks? They kind of incorporated like more water feature parts to the park over here, where I think the go-kart track kind of ran. But anyway, yeah, it's a big deal. There's no doubt about that. It's a big deal. All right, let's continue on. Yeah, I was just talking to a gentleman that worked here too. He's about 15 years younger than me. Different time. He don't remember when this ride, it wasn't like a pirate ship like it is now. I think it says Riptide. Check this out. Like this ride right here, when I was working here, this wasn't here. So what was there was the fun house. And one of the funny things about the fun house was it was a place where people would kind of crash out. Yeah, they would crash. You know, I'm laughing. A bunch of people are like, "Why is he talking to himself?" I don't. It doesn't matter. As long as I'm happy, who gives a shit? All right, I'll take that. I gotta edit it. I don't like curses on my channel. Anyway, so yeah, I just showed you Riptide. Riptide used to be the fun house, and that was my place. That was my first real assignment when I was working this pier, was the fun house. And I probably worked on that probably most of the summer before they moved me to that integral overnight security job. And yeah, like I was saying, the fun house, the funny part about that is you'd have people partying in the back in the water park. And then what they'd end up doing is passing out in there and unfortunately getting sick all over it. And hold on. I'm gonna ride around on my one wheel, and that can be dangerous if you really don't know what you're doing and it's crowded. But don't have a selfie stick on the pier because somebody can get hurt. It's all right. Come on now. Anyway, yeah, that was the fun house back in anytime before late 80s, mid. It was the fun house for a while. Nice gig. Used to work that. Folks, did you notice this part right here? Let me show you this. So check this out. Through these little decorations here, we got 1/2 of the Ferris wheel is up. 1/2 of the Ferris wheel is up. We can talk about that too, but from a different perspective. But look at that. 1/2 the Ferris wheel is up. Wow. After everything that's happened. Yo, I'll never get tired of any kind of decoration for the sea serpent. I don't even know how long this has been here. I've been on the pier in a while. I expect to be getting on the pier a little more often because of my granddaughters. I'd like to think she could use some of this entertainment from time to time. But yeah, look at that, sea serpent, baby. Yo, this thing's been here forever. Sea serpent's been here in an absolute eternity. I think it started somewhere around 1980. It's like, are you gotta be kidding me? And not operating today, but it operates most of the time. And it's, I'll tell you what, something else. Yeah, what else is going on around here? Yeah, a lot of things. Yeah, so right here to my right, Splash Zone. That is sold. That is not going to open this season. That's going to be a giant boutique hotel. Oh man, can't always have to. Right over here, left shoulder, used to be the one and only Dracula's Castle. Never forget. Never forget, baby. I'm on Cedar Avenue. Here you go. Here's a little something for you. Who remembers Mountain Magic Leather on Cedar Avenue? You know what I mean? Who remembers Mountain Magic Leather, Cedar Avenue? I do. I worked there for a very short period of time. They had 2 or 3 locations. One of them was in North Wildwood, and that location actually was where the Pegging Babies played once. Oh, by the way, folks, if you like this kind of content, and it could be any number of categories, and if one of them is like shorter vibe stuff, Wildwood, New Jersey, I got a giant playlist on my channel that I would say absolutely look it up. You can get lost in there for hours. Get your lunch, press play, and wander into all of some of the history that people want to know and some that they pretty much could care less about. But it's all good stuff. Hey, Mac Pizza right there. Open for biz. Oh yeah, not only that, but coming up, wait till you see the let's see the status of the hotel at Maple Avenue in the Boardwalk. I think it's called Wild Resort. Check this out now. So here we go. So they made some progress. So now you're seeing the current progress. Sunday, May 2nd, May 3rd. The dog park's kicking. Right there. Look at this. Wild Resort is under construction. I don't know what the ETA on that is, but I'm going to say this, and we're going to go check on how realistic this story is right here, because right around the corner here on Glenwood Avenue, so this whole new property is stretching from Maple Avenue to Glenwood Avenue on the boardwalk, okay? But over here, oh look, bathrooms. I feel like they're new. Let's do this. Let's go down this ramp. Because when I'm fishing around on the internet for stuff, I'm always looking like, oh, look at this story. Because we're going to go over to the Maple side too. But I think we're going to check both locations. I think the city actually had benches or something of that nature around here somewhere. We're going to go check on Maple, because this is Glenwood here. And apparently a lot of the debris that was falling from the construction work was banging up stuff that they recently or fairly new items that were put in by the city. Could be benches, different things that they would do for our comfort. But we're going to zip around. We're currently on Ocean Avenue. Good old Ocean. Look at this. Anything look familiar to you? Ocean Avenue. Oh, and now you get to see the backside of the Wild Resort. Look at this. So is that going to be all parking? That ought to be interesting to see. And oh, here it is. Yeah, I found it. Sorry, not Glenwood, Maple. So yeah, look at this. It obviously has a ways to go. I wouldn't even project. I would project sometime next year, obviously. But over here, I remember seeing it online. I guess stuff was full. You can see, look, this is closed, this side. I don't know if these benches were supposed to be funky like this. No, I'm pretty sure they weren't. So this was it. So yeah, like they maybe that one was a little compromised. Look at this bench. I like it. I like it. Got the old beach balls, the 700-pound beach balls right there too as well. Yeah, it's wild. Maple Avenue. I lived on Maple Avenue for one summer. I lived on Glenwood Avenue one summer. When I was on Glenwood, I was all the way back in West Wildwood across the little bridge. That was a haul to get up here. But yeah, so this is Wild Resort right here, and under construction, obviously. And yeah, hopefully, I don't know. That's closed for good reason. Look at that. They got the fence up and everything. But yeah, Wild Resort. Okay, let's go check some more. Exciting, isn't it? It's Sunday, May 3rd in Wildwood, New Jersey. The boardwalk's open. Anyone that's not like a fan of winter, you've got to be thrilled because you're literally 4 weeks, 3 weeks away, 21, 24, blah, blah, blah. You're 3 weeks away from like Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, man. Yeah, that time of year. Yeah. Oh, by the way, congratulations to the Philadelphia 76ers. Game 7 victory against Boston and TD Gardens last night. Yeah, big deal. Okay, onward and upward.